Welcome back to The Gate, hosted by me, Gerald Lee. The Gate is a podcast about everything that deserves more love, from food and pop culture to people we're celebrating. This is episode 3. Let's go see what's happening in the stable, shall we? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Well, you guys, for those of you watching, you probably know me personally, I guess, because, no one else seems to give a fucking shit. However, it's not good. It's not good. It's really not. It's not good at all. Um, I have negative money. I have no confirmed incoming money. I have no food. I have no beverages. I have nothing. I have no weed. I have no prospects. And I'm tired of the doom and gloom. I'm tired of it, but I don't know what else to say or do. And I feel like with each passing episode, the quality gets worse, the set gets worse. I keep trying to improve. I keep trying to make things better, and it's just not. With that being said, if you're still here, thanks. And yeah, I guess let's talk about weed and wieners. Well, if you haven't put in your AirPods at this point, now might be a good time to do so because we're talking about truly my only two loves in this mortal realm, and that's going to go ahead and be weed and wieners. From a young age, Gerald knew who he was, and that was definitely on the wiener loving part. The weed loving part did come a little bit later, but that truly is at any given moment the one of two things I'm thinking about. It's either smoking weed or looking at some wieners. So I'm gonna tell you all a few stories of weed smoking, tell you all a few stories about some wieners, and we'll call it a day. And you know, Gerald, why are you talking about this? Are you worried about what? Worried about what? No one no one watches more than I think 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes of these videos. At least that's what the statistics say. So, the odds of who's watching this right now? Kristen, hey Pookie, I love you. Keith, hey. Like y'all the only two who I would even assume made it this far into the video. So let's talk first time smoking weed. Now, I do need to make a clarification here. The first time smoking weed and the first time getting high, two different experiences here. Now, for those of you truly in the weeds on Gerald lore, in the weeds, the first time I got high was in the 8th grade, and it was arguably against my choice. Here's this. Here's the situation. I was in the 8th grade, mind you. I had just met my dad for the first time, maybe a couple months prior to this moment. Now, the instance happened a couple months, again, after meeting him for the first time. And not only meeting him, but meeting my stepmother and, at minimum 3 of my siblings on his side. The way my father and that side of the family have been so absent from my life, I don't even consider them siblings. Like, yeah, we share our father's blood, I suppose, but we're siblings in no sense of the word, short of blood work. Now here I am, 8th grade. How old are you? 12, 13 years old. I'm visiting my dad for the second time. It is at this point I learned that I have a brother who is maybe 6 months older than me. That's right. Within a 6 month span, my father had gotten 2 women pregnant in 1992. And, I'm born in April, so I guess my brother is a 91 baby. You do the math. That's not what we're here for. I don't even remember where the fuck I was in the story. So here we are, second time meeting my father. He goes somewheres. Couldn't tell you where. I'm like spending the night at his house. He disappeared. Couldn't tell you where the man went. Couldn't tell you what the man was doing. He definitely was unemployed. Now, that leaves me with my stepmother, Wody, which I was informed means white girl with a booty, but that should be pronounced Woody. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. And then my brother, who again is 6 months older than me, and she gets the bright idea. Let's go to Golden Corral. Let's go to Golden Corral. Boys, y'all want to go to Golden Corral? We're like, hell yeah. Love to go to Golden Corral. At this point in time, we are living about a 35-minute drive south from Golden Corral. We hop in a 2-door, 1-row seat truck, like a little Tonka truck. And on the way there, my stepmother says, y'all want to get high? I'm sorry, I just took dare, and like, not to shit on y'all, but I guess I said, yeah, I'm good. Like, I don't want to smoke it, but like, y'all can do y'all thing. Y'all go ahead. They both giggle, knowing damn well I'm about to get hotboxed, as if I was smoking it in the first place. So they smoke. My stepmother, again, mind you, who is the second time meeting her, is now smoking weed with my brother. And they're doing it like this was not the first time, okay? We pull up to that Golden Corral. Blitzed. I'm telling you, I don't remember being like, it like, you know, classically stoned, I guess, considering it was my first time getting high and it was hotboxed. But I definitely put in some work at that buffet. You know, like I don't remember being like, geez. You know, like I don't remember any of that. I don't remember like watching cartoons and being like, this is sick. But I went green eggs and ham on that Golden Corral buffet. And I can distinctly remember I've always had a fascination with uh mushrooms at like buffet. Ugh, love a mushroom, love like a sauteed mushroom situation, and you know how they do them at the buffets, right? I think it was after I came back with my second plate that was 50% mushrooms. My brother was like, "Dude, you're fucking high," and I'm like, "Oh, I literally have no idea what y'all talking about, no clue." So, in summation, first time getting high. Shout out to my stepmother. Shout out to my half brother. Now, the first time I did smoke weed consciously and purposefully was the summer going into my senior year of high school. And I was at like a traditional house party in every sense of the word. It was sick. There was, for some reason, pornography on the TV. What was up with that? Like I've been to many a party, many a house party, where there's a porn TV. What are y'all doing? No one's cranking it. No one's naked. It's just on. And some people are watching it and commenting. But I digress. This party, how it didn't get shut down, how it didn't get like rated, nothing. It was some, I wouldn't say Project X. I'm being crazy here, but it was sizable. And I, of course, had a crush on the weed guy. Ugh, how original. What am I, my mother? A crush on the drug? So him and I are cutting up, having a good time hanging out. And I did not drink at all at this point in time. So for the most part, everyone trashed. Me, just trying to make sure no one dies. He looks at me, he's like, you need to smoke some weed. And I said, I think I need to smoke some weed. We're like walking down the street. I am doing my best to flirt again, mostly closeted at this point. And he's like, have you smoked weed before? He starts rolling a joint with grape flavored like tobacco paper, like rolling paper, like literally had grapes on them. And I was like, I I know enough about weed culture to know that this is like tacky. Like this is some real stereotypical, like you've got to be shitting me type of situation. He's rolling. You ever smoked weed before? I tell him the story about my stepmom hotboxing me, and he goes, "That's crazy." He lights it up. He goes, "You probably won't get too stoned the first time, but you will get high. Just follow my directions." And I'm like, "Okay." Like literally, whatever he wanted, I probably would have freebased Fent for him. That's look. I was going to my senior year of high school. Forgive me. So he lights it. He smokes it. Does his little thing. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy is so freaking cool. He hands me the joint. I grab it. I'm like, ooh. I hand it back to him. I hand it back, and he goes, "What was that?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." He hits it again. And mind you, I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Feeling it. And it could have mostly been just, adrenaline. But my heart was like beating for this man. He hands it back. And this time he's like really watching me. Like he's like, I go, and he's like, you know that you could close your mouth, right? And I was like, and I exhale, and he goes, what is actually wrong with you? And I'm like, brother, I it's the only way in my mind. It's the only way in my mind. It's the only way in my mind I could stop the smoke from coming out too early, you know? Otherwise I'd be like I'm trying to blow into the microphone too much. But I just like the thank God the first time it was with him, because like I didn't while he was being judgy in a funny, silly way, like it really was no harm, no foul type shit. But what was I doing with my mouth open? I think after the third or fourth time, he was like, "Close your mouth. That's how you let flies in." I said, "Are you my dad? That's an insane boomer ass joke to make." But woof, I'll never forget Max. His name was Max. Max, I miss you. You're probably in prison right now or dead. But you were really handsome back then, and I loved you. And I hope you're doing well. And now, a few stories of just random instances that I can remember smoking weed and being a problem. Now, through my senior year of high school, I smoked mainly on the weekends. Like, this is back when, like, literally a gram would last us the weekend. Like, I don't know how we were smoking blunts off of, like, an eighth and it lasted, but it was those were the glory days. But the first time I remember almost dying from smoking weed was like a couple months into the school year, my freshman year of college. And at the time was living in the dorms, and shockingly somehow made it through 2 years of undergrad without getting caught smoking weed in my dorm. But I had made some new friends. All my other homies were busy. They were in class. They were doing something. And so I'm smoking with two people who are like, again, like maybe a month old, 2 months old to me. Like friendship wise. And so I'm trying to show out. Like, and these, it was this guy. He was tall. I remember him being like tall as hell, like truly like stereotypical he like stoner guy, and this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous girl, and we're smoking, and they're going ham. Like they are doing things unimaginable to baby stoner me, just hitting huge fucking rips. And so I'm trying to keep up with them. I'm just trying to keep up. And after, I'm not kidding, like it wasn't like maybe 10 to 15 minutes of us smoking. We are fried, red eyed, levitating to the cafeteria. And we get there. Man, it had to have been, no, this had to have been in the spring semester, because I remember there was fried catfish and baked macaroni, and they only did that on Fridays during Lent. So it had to be like this time of the year. Either way, these people are new to me, and I did the rookie mistake of trying to impress someone. We get to that cafeteria. I am blazed out of my mind. Blazed out of my mind. I remember going to get a plate of food, and it is customary for them to, give you like one piece of fish with like per visiting the buffet. And I was like, is there any way? I was like, is there any way I can get two pieces right now? Because I'm just gonna go put this down and come back and get another one. And of course, I'm like locked in with her with the buffet staff in this cafeteria. So she hooks me up with two slices, and I remember being happier than a pig in shit that she hooked me up. Fat glob of baked macaroni. And I go to sit down. All three of us kind of get back at the same time. We're laughing, we're talking. They're eating. I go to take a bite of that macaroni and cheese. And when I tell you, it was sentient and was either homophobic or anti-weed, because that shit tried to kill me. Oh my god. Oh my god. I was high as hell. I could feel a lump, a congealed lump of baked macaroni in my throat. And the other two are just laughing, giggling, unaware that I am currently on the verge. And so I'm sitting there just like trying to trying to power through. No, everyone has had that moment when you are eating and you feel your life flash before your eyes because something gets lodged in your throat. But there I was dying, and I'm like, again, starting to panic. This all happens within like 5 to 10 seconds. I started to panic. I look and I see my drink. I have like I can't even sip it. I remember like not even being able to like use the straw. I like pour a little bit to try to get some liquid in, and the blockage passed. Oh my god, you guys! I bet y'all were scared. I was scared, but that that memory has stuck with me for clearly up until now. Cause it got, I saw a gray screen. Like it started. I'm getting scared thinking about it. I'm getting scared thinking about it. Another time that I was so high at the cafeteria. Let's cut back in time a little bit. No one brought up freshman 15, but I understood real quickly how it happens. You give a bunch of high ass freshmen access to a cafeteria with again unlimited buffet style food, they're gonna do some damage. This had to have been within the first week of school. I wasn't fully aware of the damage that could be done in said cafeteria. I had smoked, obviously, with a couple friends beforehand, and then met up with this like
I'm telling you, block. Like, there was like 20 of us, a block of like 20 freshmen going to eat dinner that night at the cafeteria together. And we get there. I'm telling you, everything is fine. Everything's normal. I most certainly binged. No doubt about it. To the extent that when we left, I wish I was joking. I was waddling behind the group. I said, y'all go on ahead. I'm going to catch up to y'all. Don't worry about it. They start to walk off. Again, waddling behind them. I had just walked out of the cafeteria and like made it towards like the grass towards the dorms. All right, I'm going to catch up with you. Projectile vomit. One go. Whatever I had just eaten is no longer in my body. It is now in the grass. Every single person who I had just had dinner with whips around and witnesses me projectile vomiting. Anyways, they all decided to still be friends with me after that, but it was really at that moment that you think I would have internalized to not get so high before going to dinner or going to the cafeteria at all, but it wasn't. It wasn't. Now, for those of you who are younger than me, if you're not familiar with the word spice, I don't even really know that there was a uniform name for it back in the Gap. But there was, in the early 2010s, from like a truly like 2010 to like 2014, where they were selling legal weed in gas stations. This is to if you were not at least 18 in 2010, you truly do not understand the war on drugs and the way the marijuana was treated. So to hear the phrase legal weed at the gas station should have been a red flag. It was sold as potpourri. 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 What it was essentially wood chips sprayed with I don't even know what. To this day, don't know what. And we would smoke that shit. And it really felt like it wasn't pretty. It was never good. It was never fun. But when you want some desperate shit in high school and when you're broke in undergrad, you gonna do it. So I had smoked it I think I had smoked it once, maybe in high school. I don't really remember. But there are 2 instances where I know for a fact I smoked that shit. And hey, spoiler alert, they both end in throw up. Haha. The first time, and arguably the more embarrassing time, was at the end of freshman year. I'm talking the tail end. Finals are wrapping up. Maybe a few people had a test left or a paper left, but for the most part, everyone is getting ready to move into the summertime. We were hanging out in a friend's dorm, and at this point of the year, we're rolling again in packs of minimum 10 people at a time, and shoving all of us into tiny little dorm room bathrooms, hotboxing it. How we got away with it, like they just had to have not cared. I'm not gonna act like for 1 second people didn't know. They had to have known and simply not cared. But none of us could find genuine herb. Like, I think everyone was just tapped out. And we're trying to turn up. We're trying to have a good time. So someone gets their hands on this blueberry potpourri, and we are hotboxing it in one of those tiny little bathrooms. And we're smoking and we're smoking and we're smoking and we're smoking. And then we finally all leave the bathroom and kind of like scatter across the dorm room. I am sitting in I'm in one of the bedrooms. Like there was individual bedroom situations. I don't know if y'all are familiar with those setups. And I'm sitting on the floor. My crush is literally across from me. We're talking. There's the room is packed. There's more people in the hall, like in like the bathroom part hallway. There's more people in the living room area. And I'm like, all right, y'all, like this is a blast. I've had a blast. I need to go. I am notorious. I'm a notorious early bird, into bed, early to rise. But this particular night, my crush was like, "No, man, no, like stay and hang out, stay and hang out. We want you to stay and hang out." And my bestie was there, and she's like, "Yeah, we want you to hang out." And so I was like, "All right, all right, all right, all right. I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna hang out." Maybe 3, 4 minutes after that, they're talking. Everyone's talking, and I'm just like taking it all in. And the next thing you know, bleh, I throw up all over myself. And I want to say I had the foresight to do one of these numbers, you know? So if I think I threw up into my shirt, which salvaged it a little bit, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" And not in like a judgy way, in a concern for my safety way, which is almost worse. I throw up. I start crying immediately. I'm like, my crush like helps me up. I keep my shirt closed to try to keep all the vomit inside. He like guides me into the bathroom. He's like take your clothes off. Give me your room key. Hop in the shower. I'll be back with some fresh clothes for you. And I'm crying, crying. And sure enough, I hop in the shower. I don't give a fuck about who is there at this point. The door gets closed. I'm like, I don't, whatever, dude. You can see my little wiener, my little butt. Um, and before I know it, I'm in the shower, like spit, like just like the world is ending. I'm like throwing. I didn't throw up again, but I was just like, you just threw up. Like holy fuck, like this. You got to stop smoking this shit. And sure enough, he shows up with a fresh change of clothes for me, and like they put my throw up clothes in like a bag or whatever. And as I walk out the bathroom, no, everyone in the room has cleared out. Only the people who live there, my crush, my best friend, and another girl who I'm in love with today, Lizzie, um, were there at that point, and they were all like, real. They were like, "We are so sorry. We are so sorry. We are so sorry. Like we shouldn't have made you smoke that much. We shouldn't have guilted you into staying. This, that, and the other." And at the next morning at breakfast, we all kind of came to like the agreement that it probably was for the better that I did. It happened there. If what if that had happened and I was alone? What if I was laying down? I could have choked on my vomit. Like I could have passed out. I could have been like, who knows? And so we came full circle on that. But yeah, all agreed. No more. Wrong. Wrong for me. Let's cut to the end of that summer. It is August. School's about to start up again. Sophomore year, second year of college. Woo woo. It's another one of those situations where we just, not that we didn't have money, we just couldn't find bud. And so we score some of that legal shit from the gas station. While we're at the gas station, I remember getting a snowball. I don't remember the brand or whatever. I think they're just called snowballs. but it's like in a pint version. And obviously some other snacks, but this blue snowball comes into play. Get back to my friend's house. He lives literally feet from the dorms at this point in time. We get back, having a great old time, smoking. The I don't remember the spice being too bad. If anything, it might have just been like low tier shake, but we're going. But it still has that like someone sprayed some chemicals on it aftertaste, and we're having a good time. We're kikiing, just hanging out. We're done smoking. We're breaking into our snacks at this point. I remember eating about half of that snowball. I said, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just gonna hang out. I'm gonna vibe the rest of the night. I think we go to smoke again. Something was happening, or I was like, I need to head home. And as I'm like in my brain, I'm like, okay, it's time to start the goodbyes. It's time to start the goodbye process. I'm sitting right here on like a U-shaped couch at the end. Everyone else is on that end. I go to turn to open my mouth and start telling everyone goodbye. A river of blue just, oh my God. And it was another instance of just like, it was sick and twisted. And I don't remember how that one ended. I don't know what the next step was. I guess I just walked home. I must have just walked home. I think I was just like, all right, like get me out of this house. I didn't leave a mess. I'm like get me to the door, and then I'm gonna walk to the rest of the way to the dorms and just deal with it on when I get there. But yikes. Don't long story short, don't smoke. Don't smoke. Just don't smoke. Point blank period. Just don't smoke. I thought I had a lot more positive memories smoking weed, but for some reason, these felt like the stories y'all needed to hear today. Moving on to my admiration of Wieners. I love them. I love them. And if I could just like see no, naked. If I could just like see naked men, truly would love. There's this artist who has a book called Naked Boys Smoking Weed, Volume 2, which leads me to believe that's Volume 1, but I can't find it. And Volume 2 cost $165. But you want to know what my ideal career is? Taking pictures or videos of naked men smoking weed. That's I would do that for free. It's a passion of the heart. But alas, it's not paying the bills. And I did want to talk about weed and wieners, but that's really all I gotta say about wieners. I love them conceptually. Don't so much care for who they're attached to. Men, garbage. But I am running out of things to say, and not in a good place mentally, fiscally, physically. But nevertheless, we persist. Thank you so much for watching. Please, please, please do all the important stuff. Leave a comment. What are you doing here watching this if you're not going to leave a comment? Make sure you like. And if you're not subscribed, you should do that, most importantly. And share. Sharing is caring. Share me with everyone you know. All right. I might be back next week. I might not even be here. So, bye.